What's going on, everybody? I promised I'd have some videos for you guys today, and I'm going to try to get 2 out if I can today. But to begin with, guys, I want to talk about Carson Wentz and some of the mechanical issues that you can see from this kid from time to time in the pocket, all right? I'm going to give you guys a little insight, a little analogy, just kind of watching him and just analyzing his footwork, some of the things I see from him when he gets a little wild with the football and what's going on. All right, y'all, let's get it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this. Once again, guys, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, y'all, today's topic, I want to talk about one of the big factors that happened in Washington. And to be honest with you, last week I thought it really reared its ugly head towards the third, like it was in the third quarter, guys, to where I thought it got a little out of control, and I thought it cost us points, to be quite frank. I honestly felt like it cost us some points, and that's to do with Carson Wentz's footwork. I know there are people down on Carson Wentz. There are people right now who do not believe that he's the guy in Philadelphia. I disagree with them, but I also have to be impartial in the way that I analyze things because, I got to represent those who are believers in Carson Wentz's talent and believe he's going to get it together. And I also have to represent those who don't. So it puts me in this weird position to where I fall more in line with one group, but I got to be honest and open. And I'm saying, not be so judgmental in the way that I break down things for both sides of the group to see what's going on. So today, I want to talk about the footwork that I saw coming out of Carson Wentz, guys. And I'm going to be honest with you. He looked like a guy that was still in like early camp. Footwork just wasn't right, guys. And Carson's always been a guy that bounces a little bit. I call it the quarterback, it's called like the quarterback hop step where you bounce a lot. Some people call it the Tigger because, you bounce like Tigger. You guys remember Winnie the Pooh? Everyone does this. This is a little more common in shorter guys like myself, shorter guys who played quarterback a little bit. Like we have a tendency to bounce, see over the line. The other thing is it's nervous energy. It's a way of getting out nervous energy. You bounce, okay? The problem with bouncing is this. Bouncing can cause the weight distribution between your back foot and your front foot to be off. If you get up on your front foot, you generally drive the ball into the ground. If you get into your back foot, you generally sail the ball, okay? There's loads of other things that can go wrong. It can be your shoulder placement, right? If you're dipped too far, what do you think is going to happen? If you're a little too forward, which generally means you're on your front foot, by the way, goes into the dirt. So let's just break it down. Let's pull the Band-Aid off and let's get to the film. I'm going to show you some plays from the first quarter. I'm going to show you some plays from the third quarter. I'm going to compare and contrast them and tell you exactly what I see going on here. All right, y'all. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gents. Play number one I want to show you midway through the first quarter. So we're talking early game. You can expect footwork and throws to be a little off early in the game. It happens to even the best quarterbacks, guys. But let's break down what happens. Philadelphia comes out in 12-man personnel, okay? 2 tight ends, 1 running back, 2 receivers, all right? If you look at the formation, on the boundary side of the field, the short side of the field, you have both tight ends, both Goddard and Ertz, in line, meaning up to the formation, okay? If you look to the field side, you can see you got Djax split out, and then you got Greg Ward Jr. kind of as a slot there. So that's your 12-man personnel. It looks like Boston. No, it's Corey Clement, I'm sorry. I believe is your running back in the backfield, okay? So here's the routes that's going to happen real quick. You got Djax essentially kind of running an inside route, an in route, okay? You got Greg Ward Jr. is running kind of a seam route, but it's really this is one of the options for a hot route. It seems like they definitely had some built-in get the ball out of your hands quickly in this particular play. If you look at Ertz, go back to the boundary side now, so the opposite side of the field, Ertz is running more of a fade. So he's going to kind of work his way back towards that boundary and then kind of pull up, go all the way up the field. And then you got Goddard running a really unique kind of route here. He kind of goes into like a curl, but then takes that curl and works his way back across the middle of the field, okay? So This is meant to be a quick timing and rhythm pass to where if coverage gets blown and protection holds up, you have a deep shot, right? You have that deep shot to Ertz that you could take. But generally speaking, you're going to probably look to either, to me, your three reads are more than likely going to be Djax, then they're going to be Greg Ward Jr., then it'll be Goddard. At the hike, there's one thing I want to point in about what I can see from Carson Wentz here, guys. He is going through a full field progression. Full field progression means this. You're going from boundary to field side, or in this case, you're going field side to boundary, right? So you're not just on one side of the field, right? That's a half field read. He's doing a full field read. And it looks like to me he's working all three of those progressions before he gets to Dallas Goedert. I want you to watch the footwork, though, as we kind of go back and let's watch the footwork now. So I'm going to flip camera angles here. Watch his read. Watch what he's doing with his reads, okay? And then watch his footwork. Watch the bounce. 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 You get it? Then he throws. A lot of pressure in Wentz's face, okay? To me, this looks like he got off on that back foot a little bit. You can see kind of... I still think this was a catchable pass, but the ball placement wasn't perfect. The circumstances aren't perfect either, guys. He's got a lot of rushers in his face here. Like, this is a little bit of Goddard not making the play. This is a little bit of Wentz just making what is not a very good throw out there. But there's an opportunity. We could have definitely made that catch and pretty much moved the chains right then and there. So that is number one thing I want to show you. Now I want to flip it over. All right. I want to show you something I saw in the third quarter that's a little more harmful, a little more questionable what even happened. I don't know what happened with Wentz on this one, but I'll break it down for you, the best I can do for you. All right, ladies and gents. Once again, Eagles come out in 12-man personnel. This time, your boundary and your field side get flipped a little bit, so your boundary's now to the left, right? And your field side's now to the right. Your boundary receivers are tight ends. So you got, once again, in line, you got both tight ends in line in a jumbo formation, a big, power package, big formation, okay? You got Goddard and Ertz over there. They're going to be in pass protection. They're pass set. This is meant to make sure Carson has enough time to get this ball off. Your three reads. You're going to have Corey Clement kind of come out of the backfield and go over to the flats. You're going to have Rager kind of come in and do, it's either an in route or he's doing like maybe just a little, I don't know, he could just be in a little sit down route kind of. And then you got Djax kind of doing a skinny post kind of action. This was open. But I will say this, if this ball's on target, I do question whether or not number 53 from Washington has a chance to break this ball up or intercept it. It's hard to tell. He looked like he was in a decent area of the zone to me. The better read might have been just to dump this one off to Clement and give Clement a few yards. It's not going to be much. It's not, in the end of the day, guys, it's not a harmful pass because it's an incompletion and like you weren't going to gain that much with the underneath route anyways because they did have the underneath defenders there. The main thing I want to show you here, though, is let's watch Carson Wentz's footwork again. So I'm going to slow down the video again, and let's watch his footwork. So I'm going to give you a different camera angle. He comes up, he gets that play action, brings it back up, and he bounces, and he bounces, and he bounces. But this is where it gets curious to me. Guys, don't misunderstand the bouncing thing. The bouncing thing is really not that big a deal as long as you can reset your feet. I thought he looked like he reset his feet to me, like he was fine. It wasn't like he went directly from the bounce into the throw. It looked like he reset his feet. But yet, somehow, I can tell from the location of the ball, he ended up forward on that front foot, too much weight on the front foot, and drove the ball into the ground. So, this is what I'm seeing from the film, guys. This was what was being shown from the film. And I got to be honest with you, there was a lot of situational stuff that went here. I thought there was another play in particular. You know what? I'll go ahead and I'll throw that play up, and let me walk you through one more play before we jump off of here to where I thought it was schemed very well. But, I'm a big Carson fan, but he missed his throw, man. His throw was there. I mean, the play was there for the taking. All right, once again, Eagles come out in 12-man personnel. Just to show you the versatility of how we can use 12-man here. You got a 3-receiver set to the field side, so the offensive left, okay? And then you got one tight end, basically Goddard down there on that boundary side playing the boundary receiver role in 12-man personnel. I love the play design here, guys. So to begin with, they're going to give you a little wide receiver screen look with Rager. Where Rager's going to step back, have that opportunity, that moment where he can make a catch. right? And he's going to try to keep that field side corner down, opening up a corner route for Deshaun Jackson, okay? I thought Ertz does a good job of holding the underneath coverage, and it's open. The timing was off here. You could tell this is week 1. The timing's off. I think if this is week 4 or 5, this is clearly a completion. It doesn't excuse the miss. He still missed a throw, and it still was a pivotal play. But scheme-wise, it was there. It was schemed well. The only thing I will add from a scheme-wise standpoint, if I were Doug, I would rewatch this film and I would watch that boundary side receiver route that Goddard was running as the boundary receiver down there. Because he was kind of running almost like a deep slant or a little slant action that it got open, man. He had leverage. Like, if Carson, and I don't know the progressions on this one, guys. The progression on this one isn't as easy. So, Goddard could be your 4th progression, so you're not going to get to that if you see Djax has it open. I would definitely keep that play in the playbook because I think it worked. I would definitely hit him every now and then with Rager on that wide receiver screen with that look. I would keep going to Djax on that corner look. I would hit Ertz in the underneath with that look, and I would dang sure work my way back to that backside with Goddard. There's a lot there that you have to defend, and someone's going to mess up, and one of those route combinations is going to get open. So I would definitely keep this one in the playbook. Okay, quarterback angle. Second time I'm recording this section of it because I just noticed something. So you can see from the snap here, guys. He comes back, low snap, fields it up, starts to immediately go into that quarterback hop, that bounce. And then he lands on the back foot, goes right into his throwing motion. You can tell he's got a lot of his weight on the back foot and sails this one. This is a very good example of when your weight distribution is off because you're bouncing around in the pocket. Like, this is a big one, guys. I'm not trying to make you guys think that this is not something that can get cleaned up. This can get cleaned up, guys. I got my doubts about Press Taylor as a quarterback coach, though, but that's neither here nor there. That's what happened there. He sailed that because he was all over that back foot. He missed on some throws. I'm a big Carson Wentz supporter. You got to be realistic, guys. He missed throws here. I mean, he was harmful in this game, man. He was a big reason why we lost it. I'll state it again. I've watched this game. Doug Peterson's situational play calling, even though I thought overall the scheme for the game, I thought he schemed some really good stuff this game, guys. I think he's taking flack because people aren't watching the All-22 and seeing what was actually out there. But situational play calling, that 4th and 4, bad call. We were up. Kick it, let your defense play. It made no sense. You kept giving them short field. Some other stuff I saw here, guys. Carson Wentz, man. Carson Wentz was just not good in this game. I'll keep going into it. There's some things about the interceptions I think you guys need to know, especially the one to Hightower. But I'll get to that on a different day. Now, in terms of the offensive line, I think the offensive line was the big reason here, and it's got to get better or we're going to get crushed against Los Angeles. This line has got to stop pressure from the middle. Carson had way too much pressure coming directly up the middle, and I don't care who you are as a quarterback, pressure up the middle, you can be Patrick Mahomes, you're in trouble. You're in trouble if it comes right up the middle on you. You can survive the edges. You can step up in the pocket. You can move the pocket. Things like that to get away from that type of pressure. You start getting pressure up the middle, you're in trouble. And that's what happened. Offensive line, Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, guys, for the millionth time I've said it this week, they're the 3 reasons why we lost. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. You know how we end these videos. We do a little EAGLES. All right, y'all, I'll try to hit you up with some of the situational play calling stuff. If I get time tonight, I'll hit you up with some of that situational play calling stuff to where I'll give you some of the good I saw from Doug, from, scheme-wise, and some of the things where I'm like, come on, man.